Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our Made in DC, How to Become Made in DC Certified session. The session will begin at 3, well, it's scheduled to begin at 3, but I'm going to give at least 2 minutes for people to continue to join, and then we'll get started promptly at 3:02. But thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. If you have questions, please put them in the chat. We will be answering questions at the end of the presentation. And if you need to unmute or come off of mute, I can allow people to do so during that part of the presentation. As we wait for people to continue to join, you can put the name of your business in the chat and what type of products that your business offer, just so we can get acquainted with each other. If you have a link to a website, that would be helpful as well, so people can know about your business. But we'll get started again at 3:02. Okay, everyone, as promised, we're going to get started in the interest of time. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining the session today. The session is going to be discussing how, if you are a maker business here in the district, how to become certified with Made in DC. We're going to go through just how to apply, eligibility requirements, and then we have a featured guest speaker today here by DLCP, the Department of Licensing and Consumer Protection. As one of the eligibility requirements of Made in DC is to have an active business license. So I've invited our guest speaker, Tiana Prince from DLCP, to come and discuss the licensing process. If you have any questions regarding licensing, this is an amazing opportunity for you to ask those questions with DLCP. So we will get started. As I said in the chat, you can put some information about yourself. Definitely is interested who's a part of the webinar today. If you have a business link or you want to just tell me briefly the name of your business and what products you offer, that will be helpful for me as I begin to navigate the chat. So let's get started. Okay. So today's session, again, is how to become certified with Made in DC. We're going to talk about what that means. So the Made in DC program, established under DC Council Code, I think back in 2016, it was established to support and promote locally made products by certifying businesses that produce, manufacture, or assemble their goods here in the district. The program enhances visibility, market access, and business growth opportunities for DC makers. So that is Made in DC as it relates to the legal code required behind the program. As it relates to the agency, just a little bit more clarification. Made in DC is a local certification program administered by the Department of Small Local Business Development. I know sometimes people get Made in DC confused with other entities in the district, but just wanted to make that clear that we are a local certification program here administered by DSLBD. The purpose of the certification is to verify and promote authentic, locally made products in the district by residents of the district. So businesses that meet certification requirements, as long as you are a resident, as long as you have a business license, you are a maker of some kind, and you are based here in the district, you can be certified under the program, and you will be able to gain access to resources, promotional opportunities, and a community of fellow makers. The Made in DC, once you're certified, the Made in DC certification is valid for up to 3 years. There is a recertification requirement under the program, and we're going to talk through what that looks like as we move on in the presentation. Some key program benefits, again, official certification, right? So once you're certified, it verifies your products that you are making with your business as authentically locally made here in DC. That means that you are a resident of the district and you are making your products here in the district as well. So it has a hyper local lens to the program. And under that program, we want to highlight, residents that are making their products here in the district as a sense of local pride. Market access is another benefit of certification. We work with partners in the district who are supportive of makers. So there could be vending opportunities that come about. We are not curators. I just wanted to make that clear. We're not curators of markets, but we do work closely with partners in the district who are curators that offer those opportunities, and we act as a connector. As far as, and one of those market access opportunities I wanted to highlight while I'm on that topic is the Downtown Holiday Market. We do have a partnership with the Downtown DC Bid, and every November through December, the Downtown Holiday Market, we Made in DC has a booth that Made in DC certified brands are able to sell their products during that market. It's something that happens annually. Every holiday season, we've received positive feedback from vendors and certified businesses that has participated in the booth, and so that is a great opportunity and benefit of the program as well. Next, brand visibility. Once you're certified, you become a featured brand on DSLBD platforms and citywide promotions, right? So on our social media platforms, we have a page dedicated to the program. This is Made in DC on Instagram. The Instagram has over 40,000 followers, so it is a robust platform that can help with visibility for startup brands or brands that just want to reach more customers in the district and beyond. So, that's another benefit of the program and being certified. Next, business development. We offer technical assistance to brands that, wherever you are in your business life cycle, if you need help getting to the next step, we do offer that technical assistance to you. We're at the MLK Library every Wednesday. You can sign up to book an appointment with a specialist. If you have maker-specific related questions, you can sign up with me. Made in DC offer technical assistance every third Wednesday of the month. So once a month, we're there every third Wednesday. But if you need additional support outside of that, you can always email me, madeindc@dc.gov. I will put that in the chat for people. If you have any questions or if you need an appointment outside of that every third Wednesday at the library, you can email me there and we can schedule something. If you need additional support as it relates to CBE certification or anything related to our different divisions, that is also a resource that you can utilize as well. And I will put that link in the chat in a sec. Additionally, finally, community and recognition. So once you're certified, this is a benefit that a lot of certified businesses enjoy. You get access to use the Made in DC logo and our insignia where you can place that on your website, you can place that on your social media, and a lot of brands really enjoy placing that Made in DC logo on their products, which is another signifier of your products are made here in the district, and it shows local pride as well. So we kind of went over this program benefits, but again, as a member, you get to use the Made in DC logo, marketing, promotional support. That's the handle there for our Instagram at This Is Made in DC. You can follow us there, and you can see some of the certified brands that have been featured already. Once you become certified, you will be posted there. You can tag us, and we definitely love to repost our certified brands on that platform. Okay, moving on to eligibility and requirements. So, as far as it relates to eligibility, by applicable law, DSLBD will ask you to submit information to verify the following 4 criteria. There's 4 main eligibility criteria that we look at when we look for businesses that may be eligible to be certified as Made in DC. The first one is your primary office or business located in DC? That is one thing that we absolutely look for on your business license. When you submit that, it is a middle section on there where we look to verify, is your primary office location based here in the district? If it has an address that is in any other jurisdiction, you unfortunately will not be qualified for certification. So making sure that your business is based here. Do you have a current and active DC business license? Tayana from DLCP, after I present, she will be talking about the licensing process if you have any questions related to that. But we do require for Made in DC certification for your business to have an active DC business license. And, sometimes there may be challenges that you are facing regarding licensing. We work very close with DLCP to kind of, help interested applicants navigate that process as best as possible. But if you have questions related to that, you can ask Tayana at the end of the presentation. Next, one of the other eligibility requirements is are you a DC resident? If you are owner of your business, you can claim DC residency as an owner. But if you have employees of your business, you can also claim DC residency through your employees. But it has to be 51% or more. So that is what we look for when it comes to that 51%. If you have, for example, 6 employees, 4 out of the 6, it needs to be more than 50, so 51%. 4 out of the 6 employees need to be DC residents in order for you to claim DC residency and be certified under the program. And I'll talk about what we look for as a required document for verification of that in a sec. And then finally, can you confirm that at least 51% of your product is designed, produced, assembled, or made using components here in the district? And so with that, that's just us verifying that you are in fact making a product, a tangible product of some kind. The product needs to be a physical product. That is how we define a maker product under the program. So if there's questions related to that, I know makers across industries that can look different for your industry, but that is the definition that we utilize. If you are making a tangible product that you're designing, producing, assembling, or making here in the district. Moving on to required documents. When you go online to apply for certification, we look for proof of identification. So a DC driver's license, non-driver's license, ID, US passport are the 3 items that you can, or different types of IDs that you can use for proof of identification. That does not prove DC residency if you upload a DC a DC driver's license. We just use that for proof of identification purposes. Whoever is applying for the certification, the ID needs to match the applicant, right? So we're just using that to make sure that whoever is applying for the certification is who they say they are. I know sometimes if a business have employees, maybe the assistant manager is applying on behalf of the business. Um, that's, we just want to make sure that whoever's applying is who they say they are. So that's why we ask for identification. Next, we ask for, again, the valid DC business license. In the application, there is an upload field where you can upload your physical business license document. We require you to upload the document so we can look on there to assess for, the primary location. Sometimes people just enter in the number. There is a field where you can enter in the number, but we ask you to upload the document for a reason. We need to look on the document for other items. So that is on the application as a required document. Next is proof of DC residency. And as I stated previously, there's two pathways to verify that. You can verify DC residency through the owner. We ask for, you can submit a recent bank statement. All of these documents, the recent bank statement, utility bill, and or current lease or rental agreement needs to be in the applicant's or slash owner, majority owner name. We need to see the name, the DC residential address. So not the business address, but the residential address. And it needs to be dated within the last 60 days. So it needs to be a recent document. We need to be able to see the date. We need to be able to see the applicant's name and the DC residential address. Those are the three things that we're checking for. If the document is blurry or cropped and we can't see it, we will ask for you to resubmit. But just making sure that you're submitting one of the three would suffice for DC residency if you're going the owner pathway. If you are trying to prove DC residency through your employees, you need to submit a UC30 form filed with DOES. So that will be an employer's quarterly contribution wage report. I will drop a link in the chat or as an example of what that looks like. That is a form that is filed with the Department of Employment Services. Every business who have employees has to file that. And so we ask for your most recent UC30 form when you apply for certification and you're trying to prove DC residency through your employees. On that form, we're looking to just verify that the employees that you say that you have actually work for you. And then we also ask for a list of total employees with the residential addresses. So that's the way that we kind of can see who the employees are, and then we can count and measure and verify that at least 51% of your employees are in fact DC residents. So that is how we verify DC residency through employees. In the chat, as I'm talking, if you have any questions, please drop it in the chat. We will address it towards the end of the presentation. Okay, moving on to additional required documents. In addition to your business license and proof of DC residency, as it relates to food and beverage-based businesses, there is an extra layer of documents that you may be required to submit. Food and beverage-based businesses there's an additional regulatory requirement as it relates to consumable goods. So if your business produces food products outside of a commercial kitchen or alcoholic beverage products, we do we will, in addition to your business license, we will ask for proof of a DC Cottage food certificate, and that is issued by the DC Department of Health. Um, and then as it relates to if you're producing like alcohol beverage products, a valid alcohol license issued by ABCA, that's the Alcoholic Beverage and Cannabis Administration, will be asked. We will ask you to submit that as well. So, and Tayana, she'll kind of go into the additional documents that's needed from specific industry businesses as it relates to like food and beverage. So she'll do a deeper dive into that. Now, as it relates to Made in DC recertification that I mentioned before, there is a recertification requirement with the program. Certified business Made in DC businesses must recertify every 3 years to maintain their Made in DC certification status and to remain compliant under the program. So after you get certified, 3 years pass, we ask for you to log into, once you get certified, you'll get access to the platform that, and so in that platform, you'll log in and there will be, well, first you'll get prompted to renew your certification. So it's important to stay connected with us. We'll send emails at least 90 days out um, before your Made in DC certification is due to renew. And we'll constantly send reminders as the expiration date gets closer, but it's important that you respond to those messages, and you provide us the updated documentation that's needed to remain compliant under the Made in DC certification. So at that time, we will ask for updated documentation related to proof of DC residency and licensure. So we are checking to, 3 years have went by. A lot can happen in 3 years. We are just checking to make sure that you are in fact still a DC resident and you are in fact still licensed as a maker business. So at that time, we'll, and if you have information that needs to be updated, again, a lot can happen in 3 years. So if you have contact information that's changed, website information, that's also a good time to update that information at that time as well. Prior to recertification, if you have any issues that you need updated or any details that you need updated within your application, again, you can always email us at madeindc@dc.gov, and we can make sure we get those things updated. But typically around the 3-year mark is when we'll reach out. Excuse me. All right. And then again, you can review and submit your information at that time for recertification. All right. Now how to apply. I'm gonna drop this link in the chat. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. So to apply, you can go to our website, DSLBD.dc.gov/madeindc. Once you click that link, there's a tab at the bottom. It's some information about the program, and then there's a link. It says become a maker. You click that, and that's how you access our application. It's come to my attention just I think recently that some applicants have been having some issues. If you go and try to apply and you run into any issues with your application, please email me at madeindc@dc.gov, and we'll help to troubleshoot or resolve. That hasn't been everyone, but if you run into any issues, please let us know. All right. Policies. So briefly, once you are certified, it is important to note that there's branding and logo usage that you're required to follow as a certified brand. So participants are encouraged to use the logo, but we just want to make sure that you're properly using it. So please don't make any alterations to the logo. The logo it's on our website, so you can see it, but it's a red, it's like a circle, and it's, made in DC, and it's red. Please don't change it to a different color, to black. When you are certified, we send you the file so you can place it on a product, or you can place it on your website. But we have seen sometimes people make alterations to it. Please do not do that. Utilize the logo as it is. As it relates to communication, again, we will be communicating with you about opportunities. We will be updating you as an agency. We do quarterly newsletters, but within the Made in DC program, you'll get communications from the program directly as it relates to certain opportunities. And it's just important to be in communication. Some opportunities come up that are time sensitive, and so as it relates to like vendor markets or placemaking opportunities, sometimes it comes with tight deadlines and turnaround times, and so it's just important to monitor your email and make sure that you don't have us on the block list, or we're not going to your spam. As we, when there's opportunities that come up, we want to make sure that you're aware of it, and that you have the opportunity to take advantage of those opportunities. I am going to drop a link in the chat where you can sign up for Made in DC alerts. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. Okay, so I dropped the link in the chat. You can click that link and you can sign up for our Made in DC alerts. And that is the way that we will communicate with you. Once you are certified, you will automatically be added to these alerts, so no worries there. But just wanted to drop that in the chat for people if you still want to stay connected with us. Collaboration and networking. So another policy, members are encouraged to collaborate and support one another within the Made in DC community. A lot of makers are very supportive of, other businesses across industries. And so we want to make sure that, the community and the network that we're building remains positive and pleasant. And then that leads me to my final policy that we're going to talk about is conduct. All members are expected to conduct themselves in a professional, respectful manner when interacting with fellow members, program staff, and even the public. And so we just ask that, there's no any form of like misconduct as it relates to, being a Made in DC certified business. We just want to make sure that people are aware of that as well. Again, you can sign up for our Made in DC alerts. I've dropped the link in the chat, but you can also scan the QR code here. I'm going to continue moving because I know that Tayana needs to present as well. So you can just use the link in the chat to sign up for those alerts there. And again, stay in touch with us. I dropped the email in the chat as well, madeindc@dc.gov. If you have any questions or concerns, you can always email us there. And then to apply and learn more, I dropped this link in the chat as well, dslbd.dc.gov/madeindc to apply and learn more about the program. And then follow us on social media. This is Made in DC on Instagram and Small Biz DC. That is our agency page and the program page. So follow both pages and stay connected with us. We post our agency page. We post a lot of opportunities, funding opportunities on there. And then as it relates to Made in DC, we promote maker opportunities that's happening within the community and certified members on that page. So please follow both. And I'm going to turn it over to Tayana to talk about licensing requirements as it relates to business licensure.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tayana Prince, and I am a business licensing specialist here at DLCP, Department of Licensing Consumer Protection. And today I will go over the 4 basic steps for you to obtain a basic business license. Just you can click next. Everything you need to know about Corp. Corp is your very first stop. It's the very first step when you apply for a business license, or usually when you're doing anything in the district, you will almost certain come across the Corp division to register any name that you are using that is not your name. So LLC, INC, any name that's not your real name, that name needs to be registered with our corporation division. And the next. Here are some of Corp division roles. So they register, you can do your trade names, your liability company, professional LLCs, nonprofits, for-profits, business and professional corporations. Okay, the picture is kind of tiny, but this is your steps when you are registering. If you don't have an account with us, you will sign up on Access DC to get into your Corp online. And also at the end, I will be dropping the websites to links to each website to register. You can go to the next one. What is a trade name? So if you're doing a trade name, it's a DBA. So for example, some businesses have the LLC, which we say is the parent company, and then they have baby companies under that, which would be your trade name. So for example, my company name can be Tayana Prince LLC, and then under that, I can be doing a business as Princess. That's what a DBA is. Trade names are not required for sole proprietors or for LLCs, but if you would like to have one, you can. You can have as many trade names under your entity name. For the license, we do require that you only have one, but for your Corp registration, you can register as many trade names as you would like. The next slide. This slide is a very important information. When you register with Corp, you will have your first VRA 25 that's due the next following year. So, for example, if you register in 2026, your first filing would be 2027 by April 1st. After next year, 2027, it will be every 2 years from then. April the 2nd through April 31st, they give you the opportunity to still renew your trade name and to file your report. After September 1st, your entity becomes revoked and your trade name is canceled. Next slide. Okay, again, that was just the first step for registering your entity name if you are using anything other than your real name. Department of Licensing and Consumer Protection provides business licensing, consumer protection, corporate registration and filings, enforcement, occupational and professional licensing, small business resource center, special events and vending enforcements, weights and measures. And again, this is kind of what I spoke about a few minutes ago. Your very first step to obtaining a license, you will register your Corp entity. If you are a sole proprietor, you do not have to do this step. That just means you're using your first and last name and your social. But again, anything outside of that, that name must be registered. And some of the same corporate structures, your trust, your limited liability, nonprofits, LLCs. Your second step, once your entity name is in our system in good standing and registered, you will then obtain a EIN number from the IRS. Once you have your EIN number, once your business is registered with Corp, you will then open your business tax account with DC Office and Tax and Revenue. Once you open your business tax account, you will then request a clean hand certificate from them. Clean hand states that you do not owe more than $1,000 here in the district. On the PowerPoint, it says 100. last year, October 2025, they upped it to $1,000 here in the district. And also keep in mind that does not include parking tickets. A lot of times our customers do ask if the $1,000 have anything to do with the DMV parking tickets, and it does not. Next slide. Step number 3, which would be for you guys, made in DC, you have to have that DC location. So if you are a commercial space operating in an office location, you will apply for a certificate of occupancy. If you conduct a business out of your home, that would be a home occupation permit. And a lot of times we use CFO and HOP. Also, within the basic business license, you can apply for something called a EHOP, which is an expedite home occupation permit. You can apply for the permit and the business license at the same time. The COO and the HOP, you would do that with Department of Building. And the last step is apply for the basic business license. And again, I am going to drop the link where you apply. It's mybusiness.dc.gov. That's where you will verify that you did your EIN, your entity is registered, that you have clean hands, apply for the general business license, and then pay for it, and it will be issued. Also, I know even based off of some of the comments, some people are dealing with food. Once we're ready for Q&As, I will also go into depth about the additional licensing that you need when you're dealing with a food product. Or Jasmine, I can talk about that now if you would like.
Yeah, we can get into the questions. That's the next slide. Did you have any other things that you wanted to say before we get into questions as it relates to licensing support? If people still needed support outside of this session, where could they go?
Yes, so in the chat, I am going to provide my email and my coworker email. That's one. Or also, I will be given basic business license direct number if you would like to give them a call. With the department that I work in, BRC, Business Resource Center, we offer a lot of one-on-one sessions that you can sign up for by telephone, or you can come in person. We also are in different wards, so whatever fits your schedule, we kind of like work with you. And that is the link for it. Also, every Wednesday, we're at Sycamore and Oak from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Also, on March the 3rd at 10 a.m. to 2:30, we will be at 1207 8th Street. And during these business workshops, we do one-on-one sessions. We go through everything. We see where you are in the process with obtaining your business license. If you're stuck somewhere, or maybe you need us to reach out to a specific agency if you have not heard nothing back, like for example, tax. Let's say you're waiting for your notice of business tax, which is where you open your tax account. We can connect you with them. So the one-on-one sessions are really, really helpful. We're here to help you get your business license. Some licenses do require more specific documents, specifically like food, which we will go over. But for the most part, that's the 4 steps of obtaining your basic business license. Yep, and also Miss Sharon is at MLK every other Wednesday with DSLBD.
Thank you so much for that, Tayana. I know you said you have a few FAQs that you wanted to go over. And again, if you have any questions at this time, please place it in the chat so we can address those questions.
Okay, so some FAQs that stands out to me that's really, really big, and I think it might relate to you all. If I launch a new product line under a different brand name, do I need to obtain a new business license or simply register a trade name? Very good question. If you have 2 separate business activities, you will need to obtain a new business license. If a new product falls under the same category of the license that you already have, you may simply just register a trade name. For example, if you have a cleaning business under your LLC and then a couple of months later you decide to sell products, you can put your selling products under your trade name, and both are a general business license. So you won't need a separate license. You just will add the trade name that would be where you sell your products. Another great question. I currently operate a service-based business and would like to begin selling physical products. For this one, for example, if I am a hairdresser and I work in a shop, I would need a beauty shop license. But if I decide to start selling hair products or hair extensions, I will then need to apply for a general business license. So yes, if your service-based business is a different category of license than the general business license to sell products, the answer is yes, you would need a separate business license. Now let's get into the food. If you are selling food and beverage business, is a separate license or permit required? The answer is yes. So let's start with commercial. If you are a restaurant, a deli, or a bakery, you will follow the 4 basic steps. In addition to that, you have to have a health inspection from Department of Health, and you also have to have a food manager certificate. That must be completed too before you can apply for the basic business license. If you are a home-based business, DOH and the Department of Licensing and Consumer Protection, we launch a new program, which is the Micromanaged Enterprise Home Kitchen Program. This is a new vending program that allows certified individuals to operate out of a non-commercial kitchen facility that is in a private home in the district. And then I will drop the requirements for that. Also, what is a trade name and how do I determine whether I need to register one? As stated, a trade name is a doing business as. Another great example is McDonald's. Like McDonald's is their trade name, and then they actually have a parent name, LLC. One last one. What is the difference between registering a trade name in DC and obtaining a federal trade name? So a trade name allows you to legally operate under a name different from your personal and LLC name here in the district, whereas a trademark that protects your brand name and logo and gives you nationwide legal rights. And then those were just a couple that was on the FAQs that were really, really good. And then, so for the micro kitchen, I will drop the requirement links for those. And if anyone have any additional questions of what I just went over, I can answer them.
If you have questions, you can drop it in the chat. If you would like to come off mute to ask your question verbally, you can do that as well. Just raise your hand and I can allow you to speak. Let's see. Okay, I think Shari wants to ask a question. Okay. Shari, you should be able to come off mute and ask your question.
Hi, thank you so much. I have applied for a micro enterprise kitchen license, a cottage kitchen license, and a caterer's license, and I've been denied for every single one. And I think there's some sort of catch-22 that I'm caught in. When is it possible to speak with someone or to have someone look over my paperwork? Because I have all of the pieces. I have my ServSafe, I've got the DC certification, I have the health inspection, I have the business license, I've got all of it. And I'm just stuck. And I don't know how to get out of it. And I'm already paying for a commercial kitchen use, but I can't use it because I don't have a license yet.
Okay, so are you saying you've done all of the requirements to get your cater license, but it has not been approved yet?
Yeah, I keep getting denied. They
Okay.
literally, there's this statement that comes off like I can't remember what it's called, but it's not a very nice word. It's like I don't know, but there's some word that goes on into my file that pops up every time. And I've submitted like 4 or 5 times, and it keeps coming back to me that there's something that is not right.
All right, I will drop my email in the chat. You can email me the document that you're speaking of, and if you have an application number for your caterer license, and then we can go over that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And also, one more thing for the business license, we do offer 2-year and 4-year. And as Jasmine was stating, I know it's 3-year, like if you need to update anything. We do allow you to update your address with the business license. You just have to provide us with the proper documents at the new location. And you will also get an updated license that you can give to Made in DC when you do update the address with us to another DC location, of course. Any more questions?
I'm looking in the chat, Tayana. Again, if you have questions, you can drop in the chat, and or you can come off mute. The session is scheduled to end at 4, so we have about a little less than 15 minutes. So we'll be here to answer any questions. If you think of anything, raise your hand. If you want to come off mute, I can do that as well. Okay, I think Shakisha. Okay. You can come off mute and ask your question, Shakisha, if I'm pronouncing your name right. Shakisha, if you're having trouble coming off of mute, you can also use the chat feature. Ayana Evans, I see that you have your hand up. I'm gonna let you come off of mute as well.
Good afternoon. How are y'all doing?
Hi, good afternoon.
And Ramadan Mubarak to you, sis.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask if I have an existing LLC that specializes, let's just say I do events, and I want to create a product that was associated with it. I didn't hear what you all said about having a separate license. Do I need to, if I want to like, okay, so I have a bartending business, but if I want to make drink mixers that are non-alcoholic, do I have to come up with a separate business license, or can I license the product under the business?
Okay, so I can go back. So if your two business activities are different, like categories. So basic business license is our name, but we have like many different categories. So for the example that I use, one of them was if I'm a hairdresser, that would be like a beauty shop license. And then if I decide to sell hair or hair products, that will fall under general business. So for you, you said you have a bartender.
Yeah, so I have like an event business. So we just do different
Okay.
events, but primarily bartending. But the product that I want to create is a non-alcoholic drink mixer. So it kind of
Okay.
is associated with it, but it's from what you're saying, it sounds like it's two different things.
Yeah. So for your event, like hosting events, that's the general business license. But if you then go on to making like the non-alcoholic beverage, that will fall under one of our food service licenses, which means that you then have to have your health inspection from DOH and your food manager's license. So, and again, it can fall under the same name. So like, let's say your LLC and then your non-alcohol can be your trade name. So you can have as many trade names under your business registration, your corp registration, but for the business license, only one trade name is allowed.
Okay,
So yes, you
understood.
will have two separate licenses, but you can use the same name or you can register a trade name under your LLC.
And then is a trade name is different from a DBA?
It's the same. No, so the trade name is a
Okay.
DBA, a doing business as.
Do you have to pay for different DBAs?
Yes,
Like, is there? Okay,
$55
cool.
every time. Mm-hmm.
Heard. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Shakisha, I see you. You raised your hand again. Let me
Sorry,
unlock.
I was trying to press this button and actually exit out the call by accident. First of all, thank you for your time and sharing this information. I wanted to mention to Shari, I'm in the food space and I've gone through licensing multiple times. So if she wants to reach out to me, just give me a shot, put my information in the chat. I can also possibly help you with that because I'm actively in the food space. um, my question is on the events that you have, because we make CPG products in the food space as well as doing catering and everything. How often are those events taking place, or is it just like the holiday market at the end of the year?
So, the holiday market, well, thank you for your question. The holiday market at the end of the year is our annual recurring event that that's it's going to come every year. Um, Again, like I stated before in the presentation, we do partner with curators who are hosting different markets in the city, like if there's a farmer's market or just the general markets that you hear about that's taking place in the city. We do try to partner with those curators to offer slots for Made in DC certified businesses. And so as those opportunities become available, those are opportunities that we share. And there's like no rhyme or schedule because we aren't the curators of the events. We just work with the partners to elevate the opportunity and connect makers to those specific events. Um, as a certified member, if you do have an idea to host an event or plan an event, we can connect you with other retailers that will allow that. Like for example, Atlas Brew Works, they are a certified made in DC business, but they have a physical space where they allow for maker workshops to take place. And so if that's something that you're interested in, you're looking for a space to host your own event, we can also connect you to opportunities like that as well.
Okay. And my last question, are there grant opportunities through the maker certification?
So grant opportunities is dependent upon funding for the year. And so as of right now, we do not have any funding opportunities under Made in DC, but as an agency with DSLBD and other partner agencies, if you are looking for funding, we can, put you in contact with those opportunities. Um, as long as your business is eligible. So eligibility does range from program to program as it relates to funding opportunities. So if that's something that you're interested in, send me an email. Let me know exactly what you're looking for, and we can get you connected.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I see another hand raised, Marjorie Goldberg. Let me. If you want to come off of mute and ask your question, you can do so now. Marjorie. I think I
Um,
also.
Okay,
Oh,
hi. Hi, can you hear me?
yes.
Great. I own the Zenith Art Gallery. This is actually our 48th year in business coming up, and I am a wood sculptor and furniture designer. And I obviously show through my own gallery. And I wanted to be, and so I've been business licensed. I'm a long-term CBE. I could go on and on. But some of our artists are DC, some aren't. But if I was going to register, I would register through Zenith Gallery. I mean, we've got business licenses, we are long-term CBE. I've actually got home occupation. I also have a nonprofit called the Zenith Community Arts Foundation, where we're actually training a new generation of carpenters, because I'm a woodworker and I started that. So can I register under Zenith Gallery? I mean, not every single one of our artists are DC, but I'm not doing it for every other artist. I'm doing it for myself.
Tayan, I think that's a question for you. So technically, if they want to apply for Made in DC certification, they will have to apply under Zenith Gallery.
Yeah.
Right, Tayana?
Yes. Can you ask your question one more time? Then what was the business you have?
It's called the Zenith Gallery. We've only been in business in DC for 48 years, next week. We're the longest running gallery in DC. I've won the Mayor's Arts Awards. I'm involved in all sorts of things in DC, including trying to build a senior artist community at Walter Reed. I mean, where they're building the Commander Stadium. But I myself am a wood sculptor and furniture designer. And I wanted to just do Made in DC really more for me, not for my other artists. I figure my other artists can do it for themselves if they want to. I guess I could do it for some of them. Some of them aren't DC, but I am. And I'm the owner and I live in DC and have been here since 1968. So
Okay.
can I just apply through through Zenith?
So if you want to use the same business name, you can, but it would be two separate business activities. And you stated it's just you. I'm not sure with the previous name, like if you have many different principals under that, where if you decide to do a new company, it would just be you that you're applying for Made in DC. So it depends. If you are using the same name on your new business license, then yes, you can use that name. But if you're branching off to just you for the business license, then you will have like the new name and the new business solely
No,
for you.
I'm not going to branch off to do a
Okay.
new business license. I don't need any more business licenses. But so it would be under then Zenith Gallery. It wouldn't necessarily be under my name, Marjorie Goldberg. Now I am the 100% owner of this gallery.
Okay.
So
Then yeah, so you have the option if you want to use the same name, you can. And again, if you want to use a different name, that's the option. But I know you said you have many different businesses and
no, I don't.
things.
I have one.
Okay.
I have a nonprofit called the Zenith Community Arts Foundation, and that is a separate entity completely. And we do programs like we built a mobile wood shop and we're training a new generation of carpenters. I mean, that came about because I'm a woodworker and because carpentry is the most endangered trade in this country. But that's another story. I have a wood shop here. I actually have a mobile wood shop here. All of it's done on my property in DC.
Yeah, so you can use that name.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Is there any other questions? We have about 2 minutes before we will be ending the session. I just want to again drop this email in the chat for everyone. If you have any questions as it relates to certification, even if you have any licensing issues, we can direct you to the appropriate person. But yes, madndc@dc.gov, please send us an email. this session is recorded, so it will be publicly posted. If there was something here that you missed, if you joined in the middle and you didn't hear what was talked about, it will be posted publicly shortly. Probably you could look for it later this week to be posted on our YouTube page. But again, follow us on social media. This is Made in DC on Instagram. And we look forward to being connected with you all. I've looked through the comments and see that a lot of you have very different businesses. So if you're not already certified, and you're looking to get certified, we look forward to welcome you into the community very soon. Tayana, did you have anything else that you wanted to leave us with before we wrap up?
Yes, I already received at least one email, so I am looking forward to connecting with anyone that needs help, whether you're a new business or your existing business and you just want to check on your entity name, make sure your business license is up to date. You can email me and we can schedule one-on-ones. Again, we do virtuals, in person and by phone. And I'm looking forward to working with all of you and Made in DC.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We look forward to being in connection with you. And yeah, we're going to end the event now. But thank you so much for your time today and for joining the session.
Thank you. Have a good one.